One of the most frequent questions in the comments is, my ex reached out after half a year. What should I do? Well, I won't just tell you how to handle it, but I'll explain how to make her desperate to see you, practically begging. But before we dive into that, let's first discuss whether reconnecting is even a good idea. To start with the basics, she broke up with you. Because if you had been the one to leave, you wouldn't be here wondering how to respond. That means you still have unresolved emotions, an unfinished chapter. Of course, time has dulled some of the pain, and you've managed to move on to some extent. But before reacting, you need to think back to why the breakup happened in the first place. What kind of person is she? If she was a high-maintenance, complicated partner who wasn't suited for a long-term commitment, then the smartest thing you can do is walk away. I've seen this scenario play out way too many times. A guy starts feeling okay, stops obsessing over the past, and then, boom, he gets a message from her. His heart starts racing, and suddenly he's convinced, this time I'm ready, I can handle it. Or worse, he tells himself, I know she's trouble, but I won't take it seriously. It's just a casual meetup. But he's fooling himself. What always happens? They meet up, his emotions resurface, and before he knows it, he's back in that same cycle of longing and attachment. At first, he might keep it together for a couple of weeks, but soon enough, he finds himself slipping back into old patterns. And of course, she leaves. Again. This loop will continue unless you've genuinely improved over those 6 months, emotionally, mentally, and in how you understand relationships. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for the same outcome. I've watched this drama series unfold so many times. The breakup happens, the ex reappears, the guy rushes back, only for her to disappear again. Then months later, he convinces himself that he's moved on, but the moment she sends a message, he falls right back into the cycle. This can go on for years. Some men never fully break free, and as a result, they struggle to connect with new partners. I often hear things like, I just don't fall for anyone else. But the truth is, they're keeping themselves stuck. Now let's look at another perspective. Say she actually is a good match for a relationship. Even in that case, you need to be realistic. If she dated other guys while you were apart, ask yourself, can you truly accept that? One of the worst situations is when a man decides to take her back, thinking it doesn't bother him, but then, after a few weeks, resentment starts building up. He begins bringing it up, feeling jealous and bitter. At first, she might reassure him, but eventually she'll get tired of the accusations and think, why did we even try this again? And just like that, she's gone. The guy, realizing his mistake, starts trying even harder to keep her, apologizing, bending over backward, and in the process, he completely loses his dignity. So what's the best approach? There are 2 effective strategies. First option, ignore her. A lot of guys worry, but what if she forgets about me? The truth is, people don't just erase each other from their memories. If she reached out, she's already thinking about you. Ignoring her actually makes her curiosity grow. Now, how long will she keep trying? It varies. It could take a couple of months. But if she truly wants to reconnect, she'll make it obvious. The advantage? If she returns after being ignored, it's with genuine emotions, not just a passing moment of nostalgia. You see, sometimes an ex reaches out impulsively. Maybe she had a drink, watched a sad movie, and got sentimental. If not for that specific mood, she wouldn't have contacted you at all. Yet you might get caught up thinking, this means something. But does it really? If she had genuinely missed you, she would have done more than just send a casual message. By ignoring her, you filter out the fleeting impulses and only engage if her intentions are real. Second option, respond to her. If you've truly grown as a person in the past 6 months, then engaging might be a viable choice. By now, her negative perceptions of you have likely faded a bit, and she may see you in a new light. But, and this is crucial, if you haven't done anything to improve yourself, you're setting yourself up to be discarded again. If you go back to talking like you used to, she'll quickly lose interest. So if you decide to respond, do it from a position of confidence and self-growth. Maybe back when you broke up, you weren't ready, but now you've worked on yourself. In that case, you might actually have a real shot. The key to all of this? Making a rational decision, not an emotional one. The worst mistake is acting on impulse. You get excited, think, this is my moment, and then, when it all crumbles again, you're left feeling foolish. That's how guys get trapped in the endless cycle of, maybe we can make it work, wasting precious years on something that should have ended long ago. Now, what if she reaches out on your birthday? That's just another form of a test, a way to see if you'll respond. Exes don't just send birthday messages out of kindness. It's a convenient excuse to reopen communication without seeming obvious. Should you reply? Same two choices, either ignore her or engage strategically. But the absolute worst response, just saying thanks and leaving it at that, that's weak. You either commit to a conversation or you let it go entirely. And what if she texts you, but she's clearly in a new relationship? Don't even waste your time. What's the point? Some women do this just to keep you as an option in case things don't work out with the new guy. If she truly wanted to be with you, she wouldn't still be with someone else. Final scenario. Your ex contacts you, but by now you're in a new relationship. What should you do? Sadly, a lot of men make the wrong move here. Instead of appreciating their current, stable relationship, they end it and go chasing after the ex. Why? Because the new relationship feels too comfortable, while the ex still triggers an emotional rush. And what happens? They get back with the ex, fall into the same toxic pattern, and, predictably, get dumped again. Meanwhile, the person who actually cared about them, the one they left behind, is gone for good. That's why this all comes down to smart decision-making. You can't keep repeating the same cycle, hoping for a different outcome. Think with logic, not just emotions. So if you found this helpful, hit the like button and stay tuned for the next video.